Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Dojo Live recap show. Today is Monday, March 14th, 2022. This is Julio Siragusa broadcasting from sunny Southern California. Joining me is America Guerrero, who's in Mexico City, and Kim Lantis, who is in Montana today. Normally in
Billings, to be precise.
All right. Hannah. So good to have you guys with us. We're recapping last week's live shows. We have a show every day, Tuesday through Friday. 3 days of the three of those days we usually do a live show, and then on Friday it's a recap. Last week on Friday it's a restream. Last week we had 2 live shows because on Thursday we had a whole hand. So we're recapping the live shows. We had 2 shows last week, and those were with Brian Price, who's the CEO at Kion, and we talked about embracing the cloud, give the cloud a hug. We talked about innovation and data utilization in property tech, how you can leverage property tech, public data, to be smart about that business. And then we talked with Jared Kessler, who is the CEO at Easyknock, about innovation. Oh, sorry. We talked about property tech with Jared.
Yes.
We talked about the cloud with Brian Price. I got them mixed up, guys. But anyway.
It's Monday. Can you tell?
It's Monday, right? those were the 2 shows. And if you missed them, just go on dojo.live. That's the URL. It's that simple, dojo.live. You can check out those 2 shows and hundreds of other shows. You can use the search feature. You can type in whatever keyword interests you. Chances are there's an interview we've had that speaks to what you're interested in. So, guys,
if there isn't, you can recommend a guest.
And if there isn't, you can recommend a guest to talk about a topic that interests you. Although that'd be hard to find. Over 400 plus interviews. Let's see. We challenge you to find one interview missing. Send us a note. All right. So what did you guys think of the 2 shows? Just to get it correct again, we spoke with Jared at Easyknock about property tech, and we spoke with Brian Price of Kion about data utilization, innovation and data utilization, and embracing the cloud. So what did you guys think? I still mixed them up.
It's all right. It's all right. I think both of these shows for me, I mean, it seems like each week you can find a common thread between all of the shows. And the common thread between these 2 shows for me is going with the word that Brian utilized, embrace, and the idea that technology is constant and it's constantly moving forward. And so we need to embrace that. It's a reality. And then playing off of what Jared had to say is, if you're not embracing that, right, if you're not utilizing these tools that exist and creating new ones, you are literally going to get left behind. And so I think that's kind of, for me, that common thread that we see in both. I mean, in the terms of Brian Price at Kion, the cloud exists, right? And the cloud is the way everything is moving. And like it or not, that's the reality that you're going to have to deal with. And I think with him, one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could relate to that came out of that show was making that an entire company-wide culture. Right? Anyone and everyone who needs to be involved in the cloud should be armed with the knowledge and the tools and the empowerment, right, to move forward and to go ahead and do that. And so I thought that was a really significant piece of advice.
Yes. Instead of adapting, it's not just about adapting now. It's just about embracing how you're going to take advantage of the full technology, how you're going to make your practices better every time, how you're going to tell your team members to, just live with that. Nothing, it's not going to change it. We're not going to the past. Everything is increasing. It's like the article that I read last week that in 2020, 6 out of 10 companies, they moved from they moved their work to the cloud. And that is going to increase tremendously. Yeah, it's a trend that we cannot hold or we cannot stop it. It's amazing. And the software too. I mean, with Kion, I remember that yes, they help companies with their cloud, but not just identifying problems. It's about solving them with automation technology. And that was great. I love that conversation. His background, how he started as a software engineer, then he was part of small and large companies, how he started providing holistic solutions, and then Kion was born. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting the evolution of companies that used to have data centers, physical data centers, and everything's moved to the cloud. And the promise was you'd have one place to manage everything. But the reality is, you end up with multiple clouds. The larger the organization, the more complex. So managing that has become a challenge. It's not the same challenge it used to be, where you had a physical space and you had to send someone there to fix something or work on something. Everything is via the internet, but you still need a way to either balance the cloud utilization or manage the way it's being deployed. So Kion really solves that, and you need that. So it's a fantastic technology to help companies, not get lost in the multi-cloud environment that exists. In most companies, it's a multi-cloud environment. All right, what did you guys think about the property tech conversation with Jerry about Easyknock? I thought that was interesting. They've created a new vehicle, new financing vehicle. I thought that was very innovative
Yeah,
and timely.
capitalism at its best.
What did you guys
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah, I mean that in a good way, right? Really finding this group, this market of people who genuinely need help and figuring out a way to help them, but also create a business out of it. And I think that is really cool. So what I understood is their business is, right. What they really do is they buy homes and then rent them back to the previous homeowners. I think I got that right. But that wasn't the topic of the show, right? Rather, the topic of the show was how to leverage tools and data. And in their case, they created their own technology. I think that they utilize it in a lot of different ways, where they're triangulating all this data that they collect and really helping them to better qualify their own leads, and not just qualify the leads, but qualify the outcome, right? So it's a win-win for the people that they're serving as well as them, right, as a business. And I think that was really what he's talking about, and how if you're not able to build such things or utilize such information, you are going to get left behind. And I thought it was interesting because it's opening up another opportunity for them to utilize their own technology for as a sense of licensing or other things for real estate agents or people who could also benefit from that information. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great, amazing financial solution for a lot of people. I saw on their website the use cases, and I was like, like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that existed, and it's something that I would like to maybe in a lot of years that could be in Mexico. I don't know when, but it really it touched my soul when I saw the use cases.
Yeah,
Yeah, making lemonade out of lemons, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Also, the culture. I was blown away by their culture. If I recall correctly, they said, or was this Brian? You have, yeah. They said that they have a less than 2% attrition, which says a lot about the kind of culture that they're operating in. So it's fantastic to see that as well. Doing good by people and doing good by employees. When you got
Yeah.
both, you've got an unstoppable business. All right, guys, what do we got coming up this week?
Sure. This week is another full week on Dojo Live for our unscripted 12 o'clock noon show. We've got, no, that's not completely true. You do have a design thinking show coming up tomorrow. Yes. So the
Exciting.
design thinking show with Tulio, where he's going to be walking us through the journey that companies take to basically decide what they're going to be offering to their users. And that's going to be at 10 o'clock tomorrow with Rajiv Mehta, who is the CEO of Atlas of Care. And the topic is fostering a community of connection and care, how you can bring more joy and well-being into your organization through advances in personal data capture and visualization. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have our 12 o'clock show with Richard Bronson, who is the founder and CEO of 7 Million Jobs. This one makes me really excited and actually make a really good design thinking show too, because it's all about empathy and it's looking for talent in unexpected places. And really what that's coming off of is, who are those 70 million jobs? Those are the 70 million people who have had some type of a criminal background and find it hard to get back into the workforce. So that's going to be a really interesting spin on tech. And finally, on Thursday at noon, we're going to have Making Your SaaS Enterprise Ready, how to accelerate your SaaS revenue with information security. And that's with Hirish Redekar, co-founder and CEO at Sprinto. So it's a pretty full week. Join us 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and 12 o'clock noon, both Wednesday and Thursday here on Dojo Live.